I don't know what to do with my hands.
Throughout high school, I was always incredibly passionate about helping others and being in leadership positions and ultimately working with others to help make something amazing.
I knew I wanted to be an engineer of some sort because I've always been good at math and science, and I really didn't know anything about ISE. I kind of only thought that there was like electrical and mechanical, and that's all I knew because I'd only taken things like physics and whatnot. But then when I came to Ohio State and heard about industrial engineering, I just thought, wow, that sounds like me. There's so many applications. You can go into business, you can go into manufacturing, you can go into product design, you can go into a variety of different things that have to do with every discipline. There's something for everyone.
I sort of thought sort of the math science was sort of more engineering, but then I also like sort of the people side of working with people and interacting with people. And that's when I realized that that's exactly what industrial engineering has. It has that mix of working with people with the analytical math and science components that you find in engineering.
The students that come to me tend to be people who enjoy working in groups, they love communicating, and they're the people who kind of walk through life trying to figure out how to make things better all the time. What's the fastest way to get this done? What's the most efficient way to get this done? And the idea of kind of individual work isn't something that excites them.
It's definitely more of a social engineering where you're expected not only wanting to get outside the cubicle per se, but expected to perform your job. So that's for me a really cool part about ISE.
What ISE does is you go in and you have a problem that companies present you with, and what your job is to ultimately make that company's problem disappear. Really, it's really fun because the entire time you're problem solving and you're thinking of new ways and new designs for anything, any process, any object that can help people in hospitals, that can help companies in any, manufacturing plant. You could be a part of clothing lines, Dolce & Gabbana, you could be part of Nike, Adidas. Industrial engineers are utilized in absolutely any manufacturing business.
So I think one of the things that really distinguishes industrial engineering from some of the other engineering is the fact that it is very people-based and very management-based. And so as a result, a significant number of industrial engineering students really grow into more management and CEO-type paths than other engineers. And it's because we understand the details of the business side and the improvement side, as well as the inner workings of how things happen because of that engineering and analytical work that we have.
Industrial engineering can best be described to people by mapping the body of knowledge that comprise industrial engineering to real-world applications. So, your parents understand grocery stores, they understand going into banks and waiting in lines, they understand flying and how complex scheduling flights is, so you can help them understand operations research. So to me, industrial engineering is really four things. I draw a Venn diagram with overlapping circles. It's human factors engineering, which has to do with people managing to minimize and reduce stresses and strains on the human being in a work environment or a work system. It's operations research, which is use of complex mathematics and modeling to optimize the performance of systems and processes. And then it's manufacturing systems engineering, which is sort of the foundation of industrial engineering. And then to me, industrial engineering also includes management systems engineering, which is the analytical side of management systems engineering. It's of management and business. It's the engineering of management systems to make sure that organizations are able to continuously improve what they do and how they do it.
What interested me about it was just the different combination of business, engineering, and psychology, and it just interested me more than the other engineering majors because it's not so much just sitting behind a desk and doing technical work. You get to actually go out there and work with people.
Something that involves working with people and working with a group, and then also apply a technique that I might have learned in science class or learned in econ class or a class that involved psychological aspects.
Right now, I do research in the biodynamics lab, which is really my first contact as an industrial engineer. We see the way different movements that people do on a daily basis in a manufacturing setting affects their back and how we can make these effects less harmful, which I think is really cool. My mom's been battling back problems for her whole life as a nurse, and developing new patient handling techniques to like lower the amount of people that get back problems is kind of a dream of mine. I've always wanted to create something that would change the world for the better, and I think ISC is a great way to do it.
When I tell people that I worked at Limited Brands, which is Victoria's Secret, Bath & Body Works, Henry Bendel, they look at me and they go, "You're an engineer and you work there?" And I say, "Yeah, duh, I'm an engineer and I do IT project management there." And I guess they don't realize how many different things an industrial engineer can do.
Right now I'm working at GE Lighting and they make fluorescent light bulbs at the plant. So working there is really cool because I don't just sit at a desk all day and work on drawings or something like that. I actually get to go out on the plant floor and see how the lamps are actually made and interact with the operators and the machinery.
My experience, I worked at Caterpillar last summer, and I got to work in a group where I was working with engineering, purchasing, the line operators, manufacturing. Like, I got to work with all those different groups, and that really appealed to me because you kind of get to see all the different aspects of the business at in one job role.
I go and talk to the lady afterwards and I'm wearing a Victoria's Secret pink hoodie, and she looks at me and goes, "Well, you could go work for Victoria's Secret and you could figure out how many sweatshirts they need to ship to each of their different stores." And I need to go find her now because I actually worked for Victoria's Secret, not on shipping how many different sweatshirts, how many stores. I worked in their project management office for their store space. We worked on putting different new networks in all the stores. We worked on putting new point of sale systems on. We put wireless in all the stores. We put iPads in all the stores, and we put mobile point of sale devices in all the stores. And I worked there for a year and a half, and it was probably one of the best, if not the best, experience I've ever had.
I got to see how a company works from new product design and development to detailed design, manufacturing, sales, marketing, field service and support, which was my focus. And so it was a great first job for an industrial engineer because we think systems.
I'm able to work with the clinical staff, the physicians and the nurses to help them see that everything that happens from the time that patient arrives until the time that patient sees a doctor and actually leaves the hospital is really just a series of steps and it's a process. And so working with them to help understand what are some of the bottlenecks, things that slow that process down, we can eliminate some of those things and help patients get to the doctor that much faster.
Oh my gosh. This past semester, I think I've interviewed at every single different type of company possible. Manufacturing, I've done car dealerships, I've done going into IT at a bank. I've interviewed at software companies, I've interviewed for different project management or supply chain.
I've always been a very mechanical guy, and getting the chance to work at Honda Manufacturing last summer was the awesomest experience I could have had. It was seeing a car built from beginning to end off onto the test track, and you're helping improve the quality of cars that people are driving every day on the road. Actually, next summer I'm actually working at Gulfstream Aerospace, where it's seeing the process of how private jets are built from beginning to end, and helping improve any sort of little things that might improve the experience on the plane and how people enjoy it and how the actual plane is marketed. And it's the coolest thing to be seeing inside of actually how things are made and how you can actually improve them and make a difference in the end product.
Honestly, getting a job is the most exciting part because you really don't know where you could end up. Industrial engineers could end up presenting and being in corporate offices to being industrial and being in charge of project groups in any industry. And that's what makes me excited about ISC is the fact that I'm able to work in a lab, the fact that I'm able to do research, the fact that I'm able to work with people in an office or actually go out and analyze any problem that any company may have and really just make things better. Engineers make things, but industrial engineers make things better. So that is why I'm in love with ISC. I'm Vanessa and I'm an industrial and systems engineer.
My name's Danielle Zurcher and I'm happy to be an industrial systems engineer.
My name's Nick Wu and I'm an industrial engineer.
Hi, my name's Colette and I'm happy to be an industrial engineer.
My name's Todd Schneider. I am a project manager in the Process Excellence Group at Ohio Health.
I'm Chris Trice, and I am an industrial systems engineer.
My name's Courtney Stetzer and I'm an industrial engineer.
My name's Andrew Warden, I'm an industrial systems engineer.